this freaking guy who turns out to be her ex comes out of nowhere, starts hunting her down. And I'm just like, where the fuck does this guy come from, man? And like, what kind of male hoes are you fishing out in Morocco?
What the hell? I want to sleep with James Franco.
We see multiple things to
Choking General Davis.
Crushing his chest, buddy.
Yeah. Crushing his chest.
I hate saying I'm a bully.
I think we have the spoons. They're huge.
Yeah.
That belongs in the museum, Andres.
That's right. But I stole that shit.
That's right. You get your ass back here. But yeah. Welcome everybody. Oh, hi everybody. Sorry, we were having a little.
Oh,
sorry.
Hey.
I didn't see you there. So welcome to the Basement Nerd Experience. I'm your host of the most that looks like a ghost.
Hey, we back.
Yeah, synchronization, bro. We're back here. Your favorite dorks that likes nerdy stuff is back here. So, Andres, this is a lot of fun here. Can't wait that we're back to consistent episodes this time.
I know, man. I know. Jeez, it's been a long time. Because finally, we have some time between ourselves to actually do this on a consistent basis. Hopefully, we can keep this up. But yeah, I'm happy to be back doing this.
Yeah, and we're actually doing it where it's timely enough to where we can get there for movies and stuff like that. Which reminds me, we need to see Blue Beetle soon.
Absolutely, a lot of people are banking on it to fail, but I don't know. I like Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that for the Blue Beetle fans out there, it's a hit. But for Warner Brothers, I hope it's a fail. It's kind of like a double-edged
sword. Yeah. Like it's supposed to be, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that Blue Beetle is supposed to be like the last or the very first of the new James Gunn verse of DC.
Ooh, I'm hyped. I'm hyped as hell. Yeah.
Well, because I feel like it's kind of weird. I think because the Flash is the last one, and I think Blue Beetle is supposed to be like fresh off a clean slate. So I think the Flash is the last one. Which oh my god, we have to do another episode about that because God, what a letdown. But
hold on, let me watch that piece of shit first before we critique it.
Watch that piece of shit, then we got to critique it and make fun of it.
Okay, fine. I will.
Okay, but. Speaking of movies and summer blockbusters, we're here to talk about the fifth and last installment of the Indiana Jones franchise.
Yeah, Jose called it. It's a quintilogy now.
Soon to be fifth trilogy.
Was it?
It's
a quintilogy. It's a quintuplet here. We got 5 of them now, and we're here to talk about Dial of Destiny, which is the latest. Better nothing than I always say. I had a. Sorry, I had some. My body had some technical difficulties, but let me tell you.
You can excrete whenever you want.
No, but what I want to say is that we're here to talk about Indiana Jones Part 5, and the last installment, and we got a lot of things to say, but only a short amount of time. So. Sure. We'll save our rankings for the end, like we always do, or ratings rather. Do you want to do rankings at the end of like a quick little like which movies we prefer at the end?
I mean, if you want to at the end, that's fine. But I want to keep it focused on Double D, Dial of Destiny.
Double D. Okay, well, Double A, Andres, why don't you tell me what's going on with Double D?
Okay. So Piranha. I'm sorry. Piranha. First of all, Piranha 3 Double D is much better than Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny. I'll tell you that much. Much more appealing to look at if I do say so myself. But okay, let's start off with Indiana Jones and the dial of diarrhea destiny. It's well, I'll say this. It is an experience watching this movie. It's surreal that around, I don't know, I think around 14, 15 years after the last Indiana Jones comes out, Disney has the brilliant idea of raising this iconic character back from the dead and having him do not really his own adventure. He's just along for the ride in some other girl's adventure or something like that. I don't know. That's how it feels like in my book. It's just I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the same Indiana Jones that I'm used to. Like I grew up on the old ones. You know what I mean. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Hell, I even saw Kingdom of the Crystal Skull before I even saw the Last Crusade. Like it went like this. It was Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Last Crusade, and Dysentery Gary.
Why? Why that order, Mr. Gary?
Well, but it was mostly because while I was watching these movies, I just like when I was watching it back in 2008, my dad, we were actually watching the first two of them, and it was too late to see the third one, so we figured, oh, okay, like what are we gonna miss anyway? So we watched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull the next day. Then afterwards, like I liked it. I don't know. I found it more goofy than anything else, but it was over. It was all right. It was fine. But I thought when I watched The Last Crusade, I think it's one of the most drama driven, if you ask me, like the most like where you give most of a crap about the characters. You know what I mean? Mostly then first of all, Sean Connery is incredible in anything that he does, and him as Henry Jones Sr. is incredible. It's like, Junior, and it's like, yes, sir, yes, sir. And he's like, I'm gonna harken back to The Last Crusade a lot because it does parallel a lot with Dial of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
In that, in Dial of Destiny, Indy is an old man living in an apartment. He's about to be retired, like he got divorced from Marion Ravenwood. His son, yeah, his son was killed in action in the war. I believe it was the Vietnam War.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1969, right? Yeah.
It was the
1969. And the movie frames him as this lazy, down on his luck, out of touch. Like it's like how they portray these legacy characters now. Like they're grouchy, they're grumpy, they're old, they're out of step. They're just not themselves anymore, And first of all, right off the bat, it's not like I'm against this type of idea, but it's just so many legacy characters nowadays in Hollywood have just been shat on so much, like from Jurassic Park to freaking Star Wars to
Batman.
Man. It's like they don't act like themselves. Like
Batman. Sorry, Michael Keaton is arguable, but yes, go ahead.
well, yeah, exactly. But like I can name you tons of examples: Luke Skywalker, the Grant, freaking Leia, even Han Solo.
Leia, really?
Leia, kinda, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Out of those three main characters, right, in Star Wars, Leia feels the least violated, in a way,
I think Luke out of all that. I don't get Luke or Han. I mean, I know I'm not trying to stay away from the Indiana Jones thing, but I don't know about. I mean, that's just me. But like, I don't.
We'll get back to that one.
Yeah.
I think we'll reference it in another episode because it's worth discussing. But the point of the matter is, these legacy characters are being treated like shit nowadays by Hollywood because they have no creative bones left in their bodies. That's just my opinion. But in the case of Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny, it just hits a little bit it hits a lot worse because like to me, I didn't find much in the way of spark or inspiration in the way Harrison Ford played the character in this one. It's like James Mangold, the director who directed Logan, Logan's one of my favorite movies, and like no harp against him. I think he did the best he could with what he had.
Yeah.
And this is Lucasfilm and Disney. Like they're going to interfere. They're going to interject with a whole bunch of ridiculous bullshit.
Kathleen.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy. get fired. But but with Indy, like he acts like he's down on his luck, like he can't manage like telling kids to knock it down. It's just like, hey, keep it down, you young pieces of shit. Can't you see an old man's trying to get some sleep? That's how it would have been handled if he had a shred of what he was before. And this is where I want to harken back to The Last Crusade. You see Henry Jones Sr., who's around the same age, I think maybe younger than how Harrison Ford is right now, right? But you see that Henry Jones Sr. does not skip a step when it comes to who he is. Like, he's old, yeah, and he's not as agile or as able as he was back then. Well, we don't even see an origin story for Henry Jones Sr., but we don't need to. Like, just by his performance, just by his little mannerisms, the way he speaks at his son, his mannerisms, how he treats others, you can tell that although he was kind of a bad dad, he was an outgoing personality who was driven by his goals. Like, you could actually relate to him in that way. And like, he wasn't the type of guy to take any shit from any Nazi going across the street, right? And like trying to steal his journal to find the freaking fountain of youth. Screw you, Ponce de Leon. We did it first. But yeah.
I should have mailed it to the Marx Brothers. Yeah.
Exactly. And like, he's not like Henry Jones Sr. doesn't seem like that kind of old person. Like, you can see the spark of life in his eye. Even when Elsa, remember, not from freaking Frozen, but the good one, Elsa, the blonde, she was cool. The blonde girl, like, when she betrays Indy and Indy Sr., he starts leaning down on Indiana Jones and he says, "I'm sorry, but I hope it was pleasurable for you as it was for me." And then Henry Jones Sr. comes in like, "Well, it was gratifying." Yeah. And then
Henry's like, "That's for me, not for you, bro."
But like, that's the thing that I'm talking about. It's a spark of personality, and it gets you to like him even more, even though we've seen him for only like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And with Dial of Destiny, I don't see that. Like, you see bits and pieces of it, but it doesn't feel like the same Indiana Jones that I've seen before. It just feels like a completely different character who acts like a backseat driver to his own adventure after this freaking woman who's in her class, who like has every single answer to everything. And to me it makes sense because she's the daughter of one of Indy's best friends who was obsessed with the Dial of Destiny. So I'm not pissed at that. Like, it would make sense for the guy to give the like his daughter the information. Like, I'm not mad at that, but it's the way in which it's portrayed, which I have a problem with. It's just it just seems a bit disrespectful at times, where this character just starts treating Indy like he's a bit of a lapdog, like he doesn't know stuff because he's old and he's washed up. Like, I think I've spoken enough about this at the time. What about you, my man? What do you think?
Not to play devil's advocate, but I'm actually the complete opposite here.
Really?
Yeah, like I feel like what they wanted. I know we're gonna compare Last Jedi with this. We always seem to always compare Last Jedi, or just
Why does it always have to go back to that stupid ass movie, man? It's a 2 out of 10.
Because Ryan Johnson's amazing.
All right, yeah.
But I feel like, because how many times have you seen? Because I want to ask this: how many times have you seen Last Crusade? How many times have you seen Dial?
500. Dial of Destiny?
Mm-hmm.
Twice.
I've seen it twice too.
Twice.
Okay. So I do want to say this with let's talk about age. At the first time, I was kind of like, this isn't Indy. But the second time, I'm like, this is Indy. Is just reincarnated. Like, I to go back with like the whole point of like, it's not a bad comparison to go from Henry Jones Sr. to Indiana, who was named after the dog.
You named him after the dog.
Yeah. But like, I feel like it makes sense for him to kind of be this gruff guy, this 80-year-old guy who's like at the university. If I'm not gonna lie, if it's like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and some guys are playing Black Sabbath, I love Black
Oh
Sabbath,
yeah,
but I don't want to hear that at 8. I gotta go to work, bro.
yeah.
And it's like stuff like that, for example. And he's getting separated. He lost a child. Like that's got to be hard for a parent to go through that. And he's been at 10 years at his other university. Which, side note, they don't talk about how he left the university from
Yeah.
the other movies.
Wasn't he the dean at the end of Kingdom of the Crystal
Yeah, he was
Skull?
like associate dean or something. Like they
Yeah.
promoted him. They don't establish that. Okay, fine. You want to move on. Personally would prefer that he would end his tenure as a professor or whatever. Like the place that he's been with all this time, I would like him to end where he had all this time. Like it just like stuff like that. But to go from there, okay, fine. He's at this. I forgot what college. I forgot what college it was, but he retires it, and like okay, that's cool. And then like I don't like the fact that it's funny like he gives like the gift away to like
That's indie, right? Yeah, that's
yeah,
funny. That's funny
like
stuff.
that's funny, and I like that. But but like stuff like that. So it's just like I don't need this. It was whatever. But he moves on, and that's who he is. And I just feel like it's still indie, but just older. And I think it's because like I think it's a combination of that's exactly who I think Indy would be in the future if that happened to him because it's he doesn't have the close ones anymore. Marion is his best friend is out of the picture because of whatever. But the problem I think why you're feeling like this is because we didn't get a justice of what Marion should have been in the movie a lot more and then just a cameo at the end, of my opinion. Mutt Williams, okay, I get not bringing Shia LaBeouf back because I'm sure for a lot of reasons why. I think that's a good idea to kill the character off, but you don't just mention it in one scene. You got to get it. You lost a child, that's a lot on someone. And how does it affect you? And that it's the reason why Mary and him are not together anymore.
Yeah.
So you got to do a better job of doing that. So I think that I understand it, but it's just not well executed to go from there. And that's just my thing. But I think it's still indie. Shut up, computer. I still think that it's still computer. It's still
Yeah. Okay, computer.
computer god Black Sabbath again. But I still think it's still him. It's just I don't know, like I get what you mean, like being peppy, or whatever. But again, to play devil's advocate, who knows if Henry Jones Sr. wasn't funny when he was younger? Maybe he got funnier when he was older, and maybe because now he's in a better relationship with his son, that he's more like joyous, like like I can't believe what you did. Like it happens to me all the time. Dad, this is the new thing for me. Let's go, like stuff like that.
I'm sorry, but don't get me wrong. Like I'm not mad because he's not peppy or happy. Like after something like this happens to a person, like I don't blame them for taking the decision that they did to make him a little bit more gruff and edgy. Like it's logical, but it's just Indiana Jones to me was never one of like strong emotion. Like to me, he was always logically minded. He was always going from point A to point B, but he would be very tact about it. He would always approach things like either like with a plan or at times when things just don't go your way, like he's hanging off of a freaking tank or something like that, or even in Dial of Destiny when he's going up a train trying to get the Dial of Destiny away from freaking the bad guy from Casino Royale. But like but I don't know, it's just at first I bought it. At first, like the first 20-25 minutes of the movie, like I was legitimately invested because we're about to see Indiana Jones go on this epic adventure just to get his mind away from stuff like this, because that's a healthy thing to do. They're like, oh my god, this is a potential for something limitless, and it's based, and you have emotional like connections to it. Your close friend who's dead has a daughter who wants to find this thing, and you were a big part of it back in the day, so like it makes perfect sense for him to go on this journey. However, I don't know, It's just I'm not really sure what the creators wanted us to feel with this character, because at first she double crosses him, and
Meaning,
the what was this girl's name? The daughter?
oh, I know the actress Phoebe something.
Phoebe Waller. Okay, so okay, so I'll call her Bridge. So Bridge, yeah. So crossing it, but Bridge betrays Indy in the first 30 minutes of the movie, and he just leaves him there. She just leaves him there, just I don't know, to deal with the consequences of like this CIA operation that's going on, with like mixed in with the Nazis who wanna yeah, with the Nazis or something like that, right? Who's in cahoots with a CIA agent, right? And don't get me wrong, Indy still got it. Like he's still got the moves. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, got it.
don't get me wrong, exactly. But he's not gonna go up against a huge burly ass guy like that. Like absolutely no
Helena
way.
Shaw.
Okay, so Helena, right? So Helena leaves Indy, and Indy proves that he's still capable by riding a horse out of there. That's Indiana Jones. That's good. He's trying to find a way out of it as quickly as possible to get away from these people, right? Get away
And like
from
even
danger.
protesting, like make love, not war, or whatever, and that gets him out of there. And yeah, like exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Indy's thinking on his feet, and he's smart. Like like even though he's under intense life-threatening situations, right? He's always thinking on his feet. He's always tactfully trying to find the most efficient way to get out of a situation, you know? And in the first 30 minutes, he does. He does. Like it's dynamic. In fact, the only thing I have a problem with is Helena, because like she's obnoxious and stuff. She's just a know-it-all, you know? But like it's not even in the sense where okay, her father was smart too, but it's just I don't know. The performance of Phoebe Waller-Bridge with this character was just unbearable. It was annoying. Like, and I'll get more to it as we progress through the movie. But
Yeah, I just feel like the characters were not really strong enough. I just feel like it was kind of like I wanted more of Antonio Banderas' character, the sea like the Frogger Man or whatever. That like I just feel like if you're gonna use Antonio Banderas like this, a legendary actor, don't underutilize him. Like if you want to kill him off, fine. That's
yeah,
perfectly fine. Don't put him in there for 10, 15 minutes. And let's talk about the immaturity with Helena. She's like laughing, like, oh, I can't believe we did that. And he's like, my friend just got killed, and you're laughing at this. And then she's like, "Oh shit, she feels bad." And I forgot the guy's name. The little kid that's with her, like
that little kid is so fucking boring and insignificant, man. Like
sorry
I don't
to
even.
actor, but like I'm sorry, man. But yeah, the writing for you,
Yeah. There's no hope for you, my guy. Like Short Round was annoying as hell too, but at least he was memorable.
yeah, he was a nuisance, but at least he had heart in it. You know what I mean? Like at least he was kind of like like, hey, you like the Jones, you don't like. There's like funny stuff like that, like the funny thing where it's like I forgot what it was, but it's like I'm from this Indiana. He's like, hey, lady, you call him Dr. Jones. He's like, that's my profession, and then he like pulls the coin or whatever. But like at least it's funny, but at least I guess it's supposed to be like a nod of like Short Round and Indy, who by the way, I don't know why you couldn't get the actor who plays Short Round in this movie. Like it would have been nice to get all like I get you're not trying to be like a fan service, but it's the last movie. Just do it. Anyways.
Yeah. If you can get Salah back, get Short Round back. Okay, Salah is
Underutilized.
what a waste of freaking John Rhys Davis, man. John Rhys Davis is one fantastic actor, man. And and he's like he's Salah. He's one of the best parts of the original franchise, man. And you're just gonna sideline him. Like he even says he misses the adventure, and Harris and Indy just sidelines him. It's just like it's too dangerous. I'm just like, oh, like you're any different? You're an 80-year-old prick who's gonna go with your best friend's daughter up on a road trip to find the freaking dial of destiny to go back to prehistoric times to fuck a dinosaur. Oh, wait, what the hell, man? It's yeah.
Well, maybe he didn't say it like that with a dinosaur, but
I might have
the
embellished
idea's there, yeah. but um, but like my thing is just nothing against Toby Jones who played the character, but I just feel like it would have been really cool if Salah, his character was, his character had to do something with the dial. You know, like make it more personal
Hmm.
to it, so that way he's along the adventure and Marion goes on the adventure, and it's a way where it's kind of like the first movie starts with Salah and Marion, and the last one is with Salah and Marion. And Marion is like, they don't have a kid anymore, unfortunately, but it feels like old times. So it's just them two as a couple. This kind of gets it back, like why they fell in love with one another. And
Yeah.
Salah is there to be like this awesome wingman, but he's also kind of like, hey, you know what? You got my family to Egypt, or I'm sorry, you got my family to America. They still take pride in their heritage, but without you wouldn't be me here, and I miss the adventure. And it'd be kind of cool to be like you can't be like, I brought my passport and I missed the adventure and not do anything about it. It's like I keep bringing up Star Wars, but it's like Rise of Skywalker when C-3PO was like, I'm taking one last look at my friends. Oh, hello! Like oh my god! And then like coming up later, and then he restores his memory, or
Yeah.
or like when R2D2 just wakes up magically in Force Awakens. It's just like moments like that. Like why, what's it called? Like false or uh
Subverting expectations
so
or something.
it's like fake expectate like fake depths or fake expectation. You know what I mean?
No, I
Like
call them psychs.
yeah, Sykes is psychotic. But yeah, it's just yeah. But I just feel like with Salah it would have been really cool to get that, and then like get the Antonio Banderas character because it just seems like more interesting and alluring. Helena's character kind of makes sense. All right, you get someone new, like you get like some new blood into it, and then try something new as well. You get.
Yeah.
I will say though, the villain though is probably one of, if not the best villain in all of Indiana Jones.
Really?
Yeah, I love him a lot.
How so?
I just feel like I like the fact that he's like a not like, kind of like historical fiction when there's a Nazi scientist who helped develop the rockets to the moon to get
Hmm.
the astronauts to the moon. So I thought that was interesting. But I like the fact that he's like patience and he has like a stopwatch or hour. Like he wants to use it to go back in time to not like go back and kill Hitler, but to kill. I mean, he wants to kill Hitler, but not like baby Hitler, like everyone does. Like he kills. We're not War Machine
No,
from
not
Endgame.
doing that. Okay.
Yeah. Um, but he wants to go back and kill him at the right moment where he messes up, and he's like, "No, I'll take it over from here, bitch. I got you, Hitler." And that way he can lead, the Nazis back to where it was. And I like how James Mangold. I don't think he gets enough credit for this. I like the fact he continues the the idea of a villain trope, a classic villain trope in the Indiana Jones movie, where it's what greed kills them. It's the thing that they desire is what kills them. Because the whole point of all the movies is that the villain ends up actually getting the prize.
Yeah.
But and technically Indy never wins all the time, but it's because they're greedy. The whole thing is like, okay, yeah, evil never wins. Uh, but it's supposed to be kind of like that, like Belloc, the freaking Belloc gets the arc, and then you got Mola Ram was kind of like fighting for the stones, and then like Indiana Jones like, okay, you get it. He's like, okay, and then like he drops like a hot tomato or potato. But then and then we have Walter Donovan and Elsa. They're like he chose poorly, and then Ian Spalko has like this weird has this weird like fevered the psychedelic LSD trip with this ET looking motherfucker like giving him all
Yeah.
this knowledge.
Confident. Confident. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. And then he dies at the end because he miscalculated. He's like, I got everything. It looks like he's actually gonna win. But then you realize
yeah.
Indiana Jones is like continental drift. You brought this up when we were at the Indiana Jones bar at Disney Springs. We met up like continental drift, like Pangea, where it's like the shifting of that. I'm like, oh yeah, stuff like that, and that caused the downfall of the Nazis towards the end, and it affects them.
But I feel like the continental drift explanation at the end of the movie is just a load of like I may have said that in Disney Springs or downtown Disney, but like um I don't know. It's just that the time and place in which they arrive, right, isn't really that long ago. In fact, I think it's like what 1,500 years ago or something like that. And and as far as I know, the land on the earth hasn't moved that much. Like not in the span of from Pangea all the way to how they are right now, which my like that took millions of years to develop all on its own. 1,500 years back just doesn't seem plausible to me. And like at first I thought it made sense because oh yeah, the earth moves through time. The earth moves like as time progresses, but not enough to a point where Pangea of all supercontinents exists. That's millions of years ago.
Right.
And we're talking about what it was 700 AD that this battle was taking place. That's where they wanted to go or something like I don't.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's the reason why I don't think it holds that much weight, and that's why I think it's an ass pull from a writing perspective.
Okay. I disagree with you. I'm just kidding.
You're wrong, but
Bitch. But
but oh, go ahead. I spoke enough, man. Go for it.
you sure? I had my little spiel. You don't want to go
Okay,
next?
sure. Let's talk more about this. This oh my god, this the second chase that happens in the movie where they're
Morocco?
in Morocco, when they're in Morocco, yeah, and he's like he's trying to find the Dial of Destiny off of an auction because that's where Helena's going to be, and they haven't seen each other since she betrayed him. So, what was this? So when the auction happens and they start bidding, right? What was it? Helena has a plan to take it by force, and Indy, being the stand-up guy that he is, like doesn't like he could just treat her like he treated Elsa when she betrayed him. Just leave, just get what he needs and vamoose. But like I like the way that Indy has a certain sense of care for Helena, even though like she's a bitch. But I like the sense of values that he has to respect his old friend by taking care of his daughter, even though she ends up being a total con artist. And when the chase starts happening, they try to find a vehicle, right, or something like that, and Helena starts berating him because they lose the dial, even though like it wasn't all his fault. And like Indy, I just don't feel like Indy's defending himself the way he should be. Like I get that she's your friend's daughter, but put her in her place. God damn it, she's young, she's naive, she's dumb, she's overconfident as fuck. And with no established reasons to do so. And this freaking guy who turns out to be her ex comes out of nowhere, starts hunting her down. And I'm just like, where the fuck does this guy come from, man? And like, what kind of male hoes are you fishing out in Morocco? You know what I mean? And then they start riding a freaking bike, and they start avoiding both the Nazis and the boyfriend at the same time, which is a fun scenario. But it's just like Indy's right when he says that I can't. But if only your dad would see the type of woman you grew up to be. And she's like, what? Smart, athletic, beautiful. I'm just like, oh my god, the ego on this chick is so goddamn unbearable, man. I got nothing against arrogant characters. In fact, I love it when I love it. That's how they show their likability. But in this case, like there's nothing that she's done that warrants that kind of attitude. You know what I mean?
You can't justify her arrogance.
Exactly. There's nothing that I can point to. Like you can say that she can point out things faster than Indy can, but you have to establish that. You have to establish it as I don't know. I don't know, something that doesn't mean condescending people around you. You know what I mean? Don't even get me started on her little sidekick or something like that, because he's you can take him away from the movie, inconsequential. He does not matter at all. Aside from ass pulling a plane or something like that, I don't care about the kid. In fact, there's a moment where the writers could have taken the opportunity to make me care about him. It was on the boat scene where they're all scuba diving underwater, which, by the way, fantastic concept.
Oh yeah.
We have never seen Indy do that before. Like, that's amazing. And although I expected a little bit more out of it, I'm glad that it happened.
Yeah.
But
It was kind of
they
Uncharted a little bit. Uncharted 4.
yeah, exactly. I don't feel like that gets talked about enough. And James Mangold should, like, that was his idea, and I commend him for it. That was great. But like, there was a moment where the kid was staying up on the boat with was it Antonio Banderas or was it one of his crewmates?
Uh, I'm not sure. Let's say Antonio Banderas for now.
Okay, let's say Antonio Banderas. This would have been a great time to have some development between these characters. Make me care about this guy. Make me care about this kid, you know? Like, they could have talked about some like, started off like trying to get to know each other, maybe I don't know, spark up a conversation or something, and it would have led to something, I don't know, deep about the characters, like something more like it didn't even have to be deep. It could have even been funny. You know, it could have even been like a cute conversation between the guy and him, and it would have made me like the character more, to the point where I was invested in what was going to happen to him. Because when the big tub of lard piece of shit grabs this kid, I don't care. I hope they both drown. I really do.
Wow.
But I know I'm evil. But like, if that scene happened in between, it would have made me care a bit more about the kid. You know, that's just me. But that's just me.
Like, he definitely served a role because he wasn't like unimportant towards the end with the plane, so he did have a figure, or he had a part in the story. Like, it's not like he's completely wasted, but it's just, I think it's just too much characters for no reason.
Yeah.
Um, but I also just think the henchman as well was like I thought it'd been really cool, like some spy vibes of Indiana Jones more with like the FBI, or that woman that like was like working for the FBI and also working with the Nazis and whatever. And like, I kind of want to see more of that. How it's like, maybe like it'd be kind of cool to see some. It was cool to see some infighting. I want to see more of that. Like, it would have been kind of cool towards the end if he she died, or she actually like ended up joining Indy. It's like, hey, like, it didn't make sense, blah blah blah. But, even like I'm losing my mind here, but I lost my mind. Oh no, I remember my boy. But the villain, I keep forgetting his name. He does not hold any grudges. Where he's just like, like he's at gunpoint in the boat, and like they're about to kill, Puss in Boots Banderas. Like, they're about to, like,
Yeah.
or Zorro, whatever character you want to go with. Um, and he's just like, don't, yeah, if you want to do it, kill us. Like, you're not gonna do it. And then he's just like, okay. And then he shoots and kills it. Like, he doesn't hold back. Like, Irina Spalko, I think, is like, she's probably, in my opinion, the weakest villain, because she's like, you will help us find it. And then it's like, well, we'll do this the old fashioned way. Help. Like, and she like does like this stupid force thing, like, get your black glove out of my face.
Yeah, you better get that Ebola finger out of my mouth. God.
Tommy fingers out of my face. Like, get like anyways, but like, I just feel like she was just not really, like, she was just kind of just like, I don't really care like about her. And then like, just like, just I never really felt like she was, ooh, I was scared of her. It's just like, okay, another thing. This dude, I was scared of him. This guy did not give a fuck. Like, he was gonna say what he was gonna do. Like you could believe that. Like, he like, Belloc was just kind of just there. I'm not saying he's a bad villain. I mean, he's truly like the bizarro Indiana Jones. Like Belloc is like, he's not gonna kill people. He's an evil archaeologist. He's just the opposite of Indy. So that's perfectly fine. He's a great villain. Mola Ram is just, I think he's a good villain. It's just, I don't think he's a great villain, because you don't really, oh, I want to take over the world with my religion. Cool, bro, but who doesn't want to?
That's a cult leader right there.
Yeah, that's a cult leader right there. Yeah, but like, Walter Donovan doesn't really. You don't really go into why he's evil. You're just like, okay, I want to collect this. Elsa is just like, Elsa, And back to Enter Sparkle. With this guy, though, you kind of understand more about him. You understand why he wants to go back and right the wrongs. So you don't, you obviously don't want him to win, but there's obviously more of a bigger path, and you understand it more back to Belloc. So that's why I think that he's the best villain since Belloc because of this. Like the villain is just he's conniving, like he's cunning and he's very manipulative. He gets what he wants and he does it, and he plays by the books, and he's just like not plays by the books, sorry, but he does the opposite of that. He gets what he wants. Like even just like his intentions is interesting as well. That's my rant, but I think the villain is great. I think it's great as well. But I can't think of anything else to say about Dial of Destiny. Do you want to maybe wrap this up and do like our rankings or ratings towards the end? Or do you want to have a final? You want to have a final comment before we end it?
there is one more thing that I have a problem with Dial of Destiny, like because straight up, like I can see this movie as like uh all right, just a throwaway action movie, an over budgeted, bloated movie or something like that. But there is like I do love coming back to this world and looking at Indy, and joining into the characters. But there's one moment where it was just irreversible for me because when they actually do use the dial and they use the continental drift, bro, and Ice Age, it's all that shit, and they land right in the middle of a battle between the Persians and I don't remember this is what look at this. I'm forgetting the freaking movie as it happens, man. Seriously. But like
It was like a Jurassic Park movie.
yeah, right. But then Indiana Jones actually comes face to face with the philosopher who had the forbidden, like the other part of the dial, but living. And like he
Living.
wants living. and Indiana Jones actually wants to stay there. And keep in mind, Indiana Jones is out of the game for the last 20 minutes of the movie because he got shot by the bad guy. Like there are moments where he's fine and there are moments where he's just incapacitated. You're an 80-year-old dude and you got shot, man, like seriously. And you want to stay in a time and place where like medical capabilities are nowhere near what it's like today. How are you even going to stay alive? Like what even
to die?
yeah, or like the fact that like I don't know. Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry.
Because he wanted to die, and he wanted because his it's hard to cut you off, but the thing I didn't really like with the ending, it was a missed opportunity. Okay, the thing that with this movie I feel like is I feel like with this movie it doesn't pull its weight of what it's supposed to teach us, or because movies are supposed to have a lesson sometimes, like you're supposed to teach something. So I feel like with him, the moral of the lesson is that Indy, for some reason, wanted to be like, remember his life as like, I've studied history, but I've never been a part of history. And that's fine. And we all like are, I think it would have been a great lesson to being like, we say we want something and it's just like, it's like we want it, it's right in front of us, but it's right beside you. Dude, there should have been someone saying something like the entire thing of like I've done this and this, but I never done this with my life. But then it's kind of like, dude, that's just life. That's just how it is. You're always gonna have stuff like I wish I could have done this, but I never done. But appreciate what you have done in your life, bro. Like it would be kind of cool if, like I said, brought up Marion Sala, where it's like, yeah, I wish I could see this happen. I studied this, but I never got to see it. But it'd be kind of cool if Marion said, you saw 2 world wars, my bro. You saw like the moon landing. You saw the Great Depression. You saw the Nazi. You saw a lot. There's more stuff I'm missing.
Yeah.
Vietnam, like, even the basic stuff we're taught in the American education system. There's other stuff like you're born in 1899. There's other things that can go on. Films started when you were just born, my bro.
Yeah.
And TV started as like it would have been cool to like say, dude, you are still a part of history. The point of history is continue going. So that's
exactly that's the point, and that's the point. The fact that this story beat wasn't focused on or wasn't even like he's like in throughout the movie you see him as a washed up old guy, but there's no question like apart from just one time, which is what you're saying, where I've always I've always wanted to be part of history. This story beat never gets brought up as an insecurity of Indiana Jones. And I think your version would have been much more interesting if they actually had somebody who's been with Indy throughout his adventures and seeing the type of shit he gets into, right? And being part of history and having to remind him why he's here in the first place. Because it sure as hell is not Helena. Helena ends up bringing Indy back by literally clocking him in the jaw. I was just like, okay,
I thought that was kind of funny. I actually liked
like,
that a lot.
I was just like, wait, oh my god, man! Seriously, man. Like,
Why did you like that?
no, because I already don't like the. I'm at this point. I'm fed up with her character. I'm just not interested in her. What's like she can die in that point in time, and I would not give a shit.
Do you
Like,
think if Marion did that, you would feel differently?
yes,
So you just hated the fact that she did it.
because I hate the fact that it's written in a way where Helena does not build up to this moment. This moment is unearned.
Oh,
This
okay.
moment is completely unearned. If it would like if Marion were somebody who had no affiliation with Indiana Jones, right? Who let's like if like take everything like let's take everything into in context. Helena double crossed Indy twice in this movie. She constantly berates him about being old and shit and all that stuff, right? And that moment where Indy starts to get a little bit more vulnerable with her explaining what happened to his son, right? She does not let up when it comes to being obnoxious with him. It comes down to a point where like the only way Indy can come back is to force him to come back. He doesn't come to this realization due to the people around him. He doesn't get redeemed by the people around him, much less Helena, who barely has any ties to this guy,
Mhm.
and the fact that she was incapable of using logic and reasoning and has to resort to freaking violence to bring him back is something that I just find really ridiculous.
I don't know because I think he's stubborn and he's not gonna listen. So she just like, bro. I think it was just the. I thought it was funny. I'm the opposite.
No,
I
I got you. This is just my
no,
opinion,
that's
and
fine. No, you're entitled to your.
it comes from a perspective of a guy who just did not care for this character, and
Okay.
like given the circumstances, I think it's the logic. Like I think it was the logical step for her to do when logic and reason just wouldn't work anymore. And yeah, you do have a point. Like if he's not gonna come back through reason, then last resort, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that this moment is so unearned and
Oh, like it was supposed to be a better moment than it was.
yes, I like in my mind I could picture a better way in which
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
yeah, Helena didn't even bring up the fact that the legacy of her father was finding the dial and using it, but I don't but she could have said like, but if it like my father would never want you to die in the past. He would have wanted you to live in the present and be who you are here with even if it were if even if Helena wanted to put herself as the people you care about, like it would have like I would have preferred that millions of times over her clocking him, man, because I don't know. It's just I just found it ridiculous, and I don't know. It's a main point of contention for me for my contempt for this movie. It's just not good, not good.
But we have to admit that it was a very sweet ending when Marion came back.
That was pretty sweet. And the fact that Sala comes in with his family and Marion is back, it feels a little bit tacked on, but like I like the callback to Raiders of the Lost Ark, where does it hurt? Here, here, here. Yeah, that was sweet. And you can see that the relationship is still shaky, but you can see the seeds of forgiveness and potential growth that you can see, and that's what I like. That's what I like. I just wish they would have done that a little bit sooner, preferably with Helena.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have done a better job with Helena, like that's yeah.
I
But
just
as it
felt
stands, it's just not that good for me.
Yeah, and I think towards the end it was just rushed, and like I got teary eyed because of the relationship we've had with Marion in previous movies than this one, and it's also just it's been a long time, and it was a sweet moment. We know this was the end, and then I did like the fact that like it's not like his death scene, whatever. It's just like this is the last of him, and he grabbed the hat knowing that he's gonna be okay till the rest of his time, and he will continue doing adventures till the day he dies. And that I thought that was a very poignant, beautiful moment. And I don't think we've had those like that's like the phrase that's cinema. I'm not saying like the best ending ever, but I mean, well, maybe like it's like this is how that character is. Like the hat is important. It's like this shadowy figure you see in the first movie of like this guy in fedora, and then he's like it's like and then he like whatever with that guy in the Amazon rainforest. What? Stop laughing at me. Like, get help me out here.
Da, 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 da. I'm sorry. That was funny as shit. Dun, 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 dun.
So then whatever. So he's like out of the shadows. He's like Indiana Jones, and then like towards the end, the last scene in a Dial of Destiny, he grabs the hat and he's gonna go on adventures. So yeah.
Yeah, I can like although the ending was a little bit rushed in my opinion, I do think it was rather sweet like and I can see James Mangold trying to do right by this character, by not completely making him like trying to invest him in the story as much as he could. But like I don't know, Disney is now known for this type of shit where they try to interject like, oh, girl power, all that shit and all that stuff, which I have no problem with. But if it comes at the expense of bringing other people down, I mean, that's just weak to me. And but the ending was rather sweet, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It is sweet.
Okay. I will say that we won't get into later, but the opening sequence I think was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Definitely a lot of fun. There are definitely moments that I'm like, that looks just like Harrison Ford. And then there's other times that I'm like, that is definitely a deep fake.
Yeah, yeah. That's why they kept it mostly in the dark, so they could better mask
Yeah.
that CGI. Which I think is a good choice, and I do love the fact that he got to be part of a regular adventure in a modern Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah. It was cool. And hopefully this is supposed to be there's
The last one.
Disney said it's not gonna be anymore. They're not gonna that's allegedly they're not gonna remake it. They're not going to do any TV shows or whatever.
You you better not do that freaking Helena Shaw spin-off series. Stupid ass piece of shit. No, if you do that, people will get
No,
mad.
no, it's not gonna
Will
do
get
well.
pissed off.
No one's gonna get done well. If it was a Mutt Williams movie, maybe. Oh,
Perhaps.
probably not. Nah, never mind. It wouldn't work. Uh,
The
uh,
bridge was already burned a long time ago.
yeah, that's true. Um, but I mean, there is an Indiana Jones open world game coming out, so I feel like that's different. Like, I think games
Yes.
are cool. Honestly, start like a book series or comic book series.
Yeah.
Jones, get that go. Just do that. Like it's the main movies are done, but still, I want more adventures. Of course, like James Bond. It's like James Bond, or like one character that will continue going on, but the main stuff is done. So, anyways,
Yeah.
already. Final. What is your rate? Let's do the rating and rankings quickly. What would you rate and rank the movie?
Okay. The Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny gets a 4 out of 10 from me. 4 out of 10. Got to be brutal here. Yep. It's got some good concepts for set pieces. Action is decent, but the performance from Phoebe Waller-Bridge, the performance from the kid, even Antonio Banderas, who's wasted in this movie, freaking Salah's wasted in the well. I wouldn't say completely. I mean, we get to see him a little bit more. He gets to express a little bit more, but I don't know. It's the ridiculous concepts for story progression where things just happen out of convenience. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's the fact that I was able to find better scenarios for character growth while the movie was going on that really pissed me off because like I don't got a writing degree like I could have come up with better. You do, that's true, but I could have come up with better shit. No, seriously, there you go. There it is, right there, folks. Hire him. Hire this ginger boy. You see what I mean?
Hire this man.
Yeah, furl that shit. Yeah. but yeah. But as far as it comes into the ranking is concerned, I would say let's see. I would say I would say Last Crusade, my top. Last Crusade.
It's funny. The last time you ranked it as the fourth lowest.
Yeah, but I ended up watching them again, and I don't know, opinions change. You know what I mean? And so
it's good.
Yeah. And I do think The Last Crusade is an amazing movie. I think it tops all of them. Like I recently rewatched it again last week. I don't know. There's something about it. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Oh, so Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, sixth, Dial of Destiny.
I give Dial of Destiny a 7.5 out of 10.
7.5. Woo! Damn. Okay, I gotta hear this. Come on.
It's not because don't worry. That could be like Rise of Skywalker. I give it an 8 out of 10.
You gave it a freaking 8 out of 10, man. I can't believe that shit. We're still clowning on you for that.
Rise of Skywalker gets a 4 out of 10.
Believe...
Whoa! Yeah. No, I still think it doesn't. It's the It still feels like an Indiana Jones movie. I just don't feel like I would rank it higher if it wasn't the last. It feels like another Indiana Jones. That's the best, not the worst, but I just feel like it's just it could have been done better. I just think that it's just obvious stuff that it could do. I don't know how to make a movie. Even though I have a writing degree, like I showed before, I don't know. I've never written a movie before.
I can help you with that with the cinematography, bro. Yeah. Shout out to
yeah, shout out to the bro.
the bro, man, yeah.
So I feel like it would have been kind of cool just from the examples I gave as well. But I think there were some good things as well. I don't want to shit on this movie. I think it's a pretty good movie in my opinion. I just wish that there were things that they forget in there, that they forgot to think about the little things. To go from there.
And it's not the worst movie ever. Like there were some parts of it that I actually legitimately liked. You know, like God knows it's much better than Fast 9.
You even watch all 9 or 10 of those movies.
Oh, we gotta meme watch them, man. It's really good. But yeah, it's not the worst movie ever. It wasn't even the worst movie to come out this year. You know, it's fine for what it is, but it's just not, to me, it's not that special, you know.
I also think it was a little too CGI heavy. It would have been great to see more practical effects.
Yeah.
That's my thing. My rankings, though, top to bottom. Indiana Jones. No shit.
Oh no, you don't say.
Oh, shit, bro.
So mind blowing, bro. I'm gonna take a shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, dysentery, Gary. So, to rank the movies, it's actually a tie for the first one. Raiders and Crusade. I love them equally.
Really?
The humor, everything is great in it. Like, you know, I think the first one is more like a romance kind of movie.
Yeah.
But the third one is more about your relationship with the bros and the papas and all that stuff.
The mamas and the papas, man. Yeah.
The mamas and the papas, yeah. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is next.
Really?
Yeah.
You like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull more than Temple of Doom?
By a little bit.
I can get that. I can get that. I like
Because
Temple of Doom slightly higher than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I rewatched it with my roommate recently, all of them, and I like Temple of Doom a lot more than I did before. But I just feel like Willie Scott is the worst part of that movie. I'm not trying to sound like the same.
She always screams.
It's just like enough, and I don't. Like I did like the scene where they're like, you'll be back in 5 minutes. It's like, yeah, you'll see. Like I said, like Josh, and like the Drake and Josh episode was like, you'll see. I'll have 3 girlfriends by the time I'm dinner. You'll see. Like you got the same thing, except no one fell down the stairs. But I just felt like I you know what I mean? Like, but that was it though. I like Short Round, but that was the only thing that I didn't really I didn't appreciate was the love interest that movie, or just even just like the a character that was like that could have a conversation with it. I just feel like Willie Scott was just there. That's a different conversation for another day, though.
Yep.
And then Kingdom, I think, is underrated. I think. Okay, there's some dumbass. Don't get me wrong. Who can freaking survive a refrigerator?
Okay, yeah, that moment was just bizarre in my it was pretty weird.
And to go from the space between spaces with the alien, I did appreciate the idea of like that the treasure was knowledge. I did like that idea. Like they were that was a good spin on it.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that. Dial of Destiny goes dead last. Not a terrible movie, but unfortunately an average movie that should be better than it is.
Yeah, I think like I still have to see Flash, but I still think that Dial of Destiny is the biggest disappointment of the year.
You got a lot more movies to see.
No.
Yeah. No, dude, The Flash was so disappointing. I was expecting it to be like this amazing blockbuster, but it was just like, God damn it, bro. It's good to see Michael Keaton. I'll say that.
I am hyped to see Michael Keaton. That's true. That was 10.
But dude, I think we gotta end it.
That's true, man. That's true. It was a roller coaster of a review, and I did fall into tandems of ranting here and there, but like, yeah. But the point is, I thought this movie was just like this.
Yeah. No, I get that.
It's okay. It's all right.
I'm glad Harrison Ford was to do it one more time though.
Oh yeah.
And at least it was like not like with episode 4, we're just leave it how it is. At least we know that that's it, and he was alive to do it.
That's right. That's true. I'm happy.
Sounds weird that I said that, but at least like he's able to start with the character and end with the character.
That's true.
We're blessed with that. But I just want to say thanks, guys, for listening to this. Be sure to follow us for amazing podcasts out there, and we will be doing a better job by doing movie reviews, but up to date.
You just wait until we get to Barbie.
To see it in Oppenheimer and all that. I'm so behind on movies. Oh man.
Don't worry, Elliot. You're Knuff. I know you're Knuff.
I can't even. I don't even know what that means.
Just don't worry about it. Just watch the movie and you'll understand, bro.
Okay. Okay.
You thought we were gonna end it there.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for listening, and be sure to check us out in the future. All right.
Damn right. If you're time traveling, always use protection.